Hey guys, welcome back to the Smalls RV Adventures. This week I'm going to show you our winter setup when it comes to controlling your water and allowing your rig not to freeze using heated water hoses. So stay tuned everybody. I hope you enjoy this episode. It's going to be a quick episode, so I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned. As you guys can see, we have our Camco heated water hoses. We purchased two of them. They're not identical. They're two different brands. One we have hooked up to our black flush, so we know not to intermingle them, and one we have hooked up to our city water connection. They both come with thermostats. One has an exposed thermostat. The other one has a thermostat within the cable that automatically turns on. Now there's going to be parts of your water system that's not going to be protected when you first get it out of the box, so you're going to have to do something to protect it. What we've done to protect our water filter is we wrapped it in a towel, then we wrapped it with aluminum foil. But before we wrapped it with the towel, we have a heating coil that we wrapped around the filter, then wrapped the towel around the heating coil, then wrapped the aluminum foil around everything, and then we secured it with tape. This way you have a source inside the filter heating it so it won't freeze. You also have like your water pressure regulator that's going to be exposed, so you have to do your best to try to cover it so that you still have access to adjust the water pressure, but the sensitive parts that the water is passing through, you want covered. Also, the spigot that the water is coming from. We have a spigot here where we wrapped it in aluminum foil, but before we wrapped it with aluminum foil, we strapped heating coil all around it. Then we put aluminum foil around the heating coil. Then we secured it with this pool noodle. This is a regular pool noodle. It's about $2 from any store. Like you can go to Walmart or whatever stores next to you that still sell these pool noodles, Amazon, and we secured it with tape. Anything that's exposed, we tried to secure it with the pool noodle so that nothing would freeze. Before we secured everything, we made sure that we had all our fittings correctly and that nothing was leaking. So as you can see, everything is set up. We're gonna have the link in the description for all of the parts that we're using, including the Camco water hoses. We also got this extension, outdoor extension from Amazon. You're gonna need this because your power box provided by the campground, it only comes with two household plugs. You have the 30 amp and the 50 amp, but it only comes with two. And as you can see, we have more than two to hook up. So we bought this extension that comes with this outdoor extension that comes with 6 total outlets. But we're gonna see how this works in an upcoming session. So stay tuned, everyone. Okay, this is a look of how it is going into our RV. Here you have the city water connection. Here you have the black flush. Remember, I told you before about the thermostat being exposed to the weather. It has to feel the weather on this Camco heated water hose so that it knows when to cut on. This one here is a different water hose where it's automatically on. The thermostat is within. It just cuts on when you plug it in, so it will prevent the water from freezing. But we only use this one when we're doing the black flush, so there's no water running through these lines right now. When we do the black flush, we'll open up the water line, let the water flush out our tanks as we're emptying, and that way it is nothing freezing. Again, we tested this a couple of times before we started shooting this video. We've been in this campground. This is the second day, and nothing has frozen. So this is the setup we have. Now let me tell you guys how I hooked this up. We have this L bracket to take the pressure off these water hoses so that it's not too much pressure on the side wall of your RV. I saw so many people having this part of the RV like it busting out, and they have to get this whole socket repaired. You can eliminate that by having the L bracket where everything is going to be pointed down, so that you're just connecting the water hose from a downward angle. We have one for the city water connection. We have one for the black water, the black tank flush. Again, we secured the heat in here by using aluminum foil with the heating coil, and we secure it with any type of tape. Some people use electrical tape. You can use duct tape. You can use any type of tape. We use it on both connections. Again, no freezing. Water's getting into the RV. Everything is working. You just have to remember to keep the heat inside of your RV. We try to keep the heat over 80. And remember, if you're using two sources of heat, like electric and then your furnace, to get your furnace to kick on, you're going to have to raise that temperature above whatever the temperature is in your RV. So if you have an electric heater running and the temperature in your RV is about 70, you have to raise your furnace above 70 for it to kick on. Now it's going to raise up the temperature really fast, so you may have to keep raising your temperature of your furnace up to make it stay on, unless you just turn off the electric heater for a while, so that your furnace can kick in every time it drops below a certain temperature. So if you want it to stay at 70 and you want your furnace to be running, you have to turn off the electric heat, and the furnace will keep your rig at 70. As soon as it drops below 70, it would kick on, push it to 70, and then it would shut off. But I guess the pilot down there is still on, so it knows when to kick in and when to kick off, so it'll keep your underbelly warm. But that's it for the water setup here. Now I'm going to be down here. Hopefully you guys can see this and I'm not blocking it, so let me move back just a little bit. Now, sometimes in the winter, when you're dumping, your valves may get frozen. To prevent that from freezing, you can use a type of heating source to heat up down here so that these can become unfrozen and you can pull it out. If you try to yank it out while it's frozen, you may break one of your those handles, and then you have to get it replaced. So to prevent that, you just heat it up a little. This we have a personal buddy heater. Monitor it. You just don't walk away. Just watch it. Let it heat up. You can try to open it. If it doesn't open, just leave it there. Monitor it. Let it warm up. It may take some time, a couple of minutes, and then you'll be able to open it. But make sure you try it first. You may want to try it before your tanks get full, because if you wait till your tanks get full, you're going to catch yourself in a little pickle. So what we do is we try to use this method before we pull it, before we get full. And once you have it up, you will be able to open the valve and you'll be able to dump your tanks. Here we have a black water tank, and we have a gray water tank. We have another one on the other side for our second gray tank. But remember, when you do this method, you have to sit here and watch it. You can do the same method with your water pipe of your water. If the spigot freezes, you can do the same method. Just cover it with something. We don't recommend it, but you just sit there and you watch it and let it thaw out, and then you will be able to let it dump away. Okay, let's say you get yourself in a pickle and your tanks are frozen. We do this before we winterize or de-winterize or whatever we're doing. If you get yourself in a pickle and your tanks won't open, you take a half pallet of this RVing grease, you just pour it down into your toilet. This goes into the gray tanks, the kitchen sink or whatever. Just pour it into it. This will help loosen anything that's frozen. That's if you are frozen. Just pour this down. Every time we do a black tank flush, put this down into our tank just to prevent it from freezing. So we have plenty of these bottles. We keep a whole stock in these just in case this ever happens. And where it's not a great abundance of it, we would we store it, because once the amount of this goes down and more people want it, supply and demand, the prices skyrocket. So we give these for about $1.50 for the gallon. And again, you want to make sure you get the RV antifreeze, not the antifreeze that goes with the car, but the RV antifreeze. And this will go down and throw out all of the ice that you have if it builds up. It may not build up, but this is also helps if it does build up, and it's also a great preventive measure. Stay tuned. Here's more tips. I'm Ricky for the Smalls RV Adventures. Stay tuned. Okay, that about wraps it up for this episode of the Smalls RV Adventures. I'm Ricky, as you all know. Families inside keeping warm. We went over these heated water hoses and safety precautions and getting yourself into a pickle and getting yourself out of it. Please like, subscribe, comment on ways you keep your rig from not freezing. As always, thank you guys for watching. Till next time, peace out. And it's cold out here. Whew.